All right, so let's take a look at an example that I wasn't able to go over with all of my classes. So we need to write the first 5 terms in this sequence. We see the sequence says f of 1 equals 7, and f of n equals -4 times f of n minus 1 plus 15. So we see that this is a recursive rule because they tell us what the first term is, and the recursive rules always tell us what the first term is. And so this says that our first term is 7, and then it tells us f of n, the next term, equals -4 times f of n minus 1 plus 15. Now remember that one way that we can read f of n minus 1 is as the previous term. So one way I can read this is -4 times the previous term plus 15. So let's go ahead and write the first 5 terms in this sequence. So we already know the first term, f of 1 equals 7. So we can go ahead and write that here. F of 1 equals 7. And so now let's get the second term. So we're going to write f of 2 equals, and so remember what this says here, f of n equals -4 times the previous term plus 15. So I'm going to write this piece, and I'm going to leave the parentheses blank. So this is going to be here -4 times the previous term plus 15. And so if we're on the second term, then the previous term is the first term, which is 7. So that's what's going to go in here. And now we multiply. -4 times 7, that is -28. And -28 plus 15, that's -13. So that is our second term is -13. And our first term was 7. So now let's go ahead and find the third term, f of 3. And again, I'm going to write this here, leaving the parentheses blank. So I have here -4 times the previous term plus 15. And if we're trying to find the third term, then the previous term is the second term, which is -13. So we multiply. -4 times -13 is positive 52. And 52 plus 15 is 67. So that's our third term is 67. So now let's find the fourth term. I'll do that up here. So f of 4 equals -4 times the previous term plus 15. So if I'm looking for the fourth term, that means I have to look at the previous term, which is the third term, which is 67. And that goes plugged in here. And so now we multiply. So -4 times 67 is -268 plus 15 is -253. So that's our fourth term, and now we're going to do it one last time for our fifth term. So if I'm looking for the fifth term here, I have to look at the previous term, which is the fourth term, which is -253. So I'm going to write -4 times the previous term plus 15, and my previous term is -253. And so now we multiply. -4 times -253 is 1,012. And 1,012 plus 15 is 1,027. So that's our fifth term. So the first 5 terms in this sequence are 7, -13, 67, -253, and 1,027.